Welcome back. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, and the First Deputy Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports, Chairman of the General Sports Authority and President of Bahrain Olympic Committee His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, attended the wedding ceremony of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, the son of His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Isa bin Salman Al Khalifa at Rafah Palace. The ceremony was attended by senior members of the royal family, senior officials in the kingdom and senior invitees. His Majesty the King congratulated His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Isa and his son, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, on the marriage, wishing him a happy married life. The invitees congratulated His Majesty the King on the occasion. His Royal Highness congratulated His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Isa and his son, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, on the marriage, wishing him a happy married life. His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Isa expressed thanks and appreciation to His Majesty the King for attending the wedding ceremony for his son, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, and for His Majesty's noble sentiments, wishing him abundant health and happiness. The visits of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa to the UAE and Qatar reflected the sound approach of the foreign policy of the Kingdom of Bahrain and its foreign relations with brotherly and friendly countries, which affirms the deep-rooted relations among its GCC countries. More in this report. With a wise political vision and a sound approach, the Kingdom of Bahrain is proceeding in its foreign relations with brotherly and friendly countries, in accordance with the visions of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. His Majesty established for the Kingdom of Bahrain its prestigious position and made it earn respect, recognition and appreciation, especially in its close and strong relations with its Arab and Gulf neighbors, based on a long history founded by the forefathers and their Majesties and Highnesses, the leaders of the GCC. This was clearly demonstrated in the foreign policy of the Kingdom of Bahrain, under the directives of His Majesty the King, who was keen to consolidate and develop these relations, and develop them in accordance with the principles of religion, Arabism, and the unique bond amongst GCC countries. His Majesty always seeks to spread peace in the world. With his sound guidance and exceptional and wise leadership, he gained great respect and high esteem among his fellow leaders of the GCC, due to his constant emphasis on the importance of Gulf unity, and the continuation of strong relations and cooperation and brotherhood, and building on them to achieve further progress and prosperity. The recent visits of His Majesty the King to the UAE confirms the constant keenness to consolidate and deepen the bonds of these relations and advance them to high and advanced levels that reflect the growth and prosperity of the people of both countries. During his visit to the UAE, His Majesty participated in COP28, which was attended by a number of global leaders and high-level official delegations. His Majesty delivered a speech at the summit, in which he praised the organization of the summit by the UAE and emphasized its importance in following up on joint commitments and pledges to address the environmental challenges that threaten climate security for the sake of a healthier world and for a future in which humanity enjoys prosperity and sustainability. His Majesty also participated in the UAE's official celebrations on the occasion of the 52nd Union Day, following an invitation from the President of the UAE, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, in the presence of the Vice President of the UAE, Prime Minister and Ruler of Dubai, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, as well as their Highnesses, members of the Supreme Council and rulers of the Emirates. His Majesty also attended the Union March for the people of the Emirati tribes on the occasion of the Union Day, in an expression for the deep-rooted Bahraini-Emirati relations that enjoy a long history of cooperation and coordination in all fields. After His Majesty's visit to the UAE, His Majesty headed to Qatar, where the Emir of Qatar, His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, was at the forefront welcoming his brother, where His Majesty headed the delegation of the Kingdom of Bahrain, participating in the 44th session of the Supreme Council of the GCC, which was hosted by Qatar in Doha. The participation reflects the deep-rooted relations between the two countries and the deep historical ties binding the two countries.
مؤخرا اتفقت دولة قطر ومملكة البحرين على إعادة إحياء مشروع الجسر البحري بينهما في خطوة تهدف إلى تسهيل حركة السفر داخل دول مجلس التعاون الخليجي ومضاعفة حركة التجارة والاستثمارات المشتركة بين البلدين، كما أن لهذا المشروع سيكون الأثر الإيجابي الكبير في تعزيز الروابط المتينة والتاريخية بين المواطنين في البلدين الشقيقين.
The participation of His Majesty the King in the summit reflected the great interest of His Majesty in what was discussed by their Majesties, Highnesses and leaders of the GCC, which gained great importance and was awaited by many analysts and observers in the fields of politics, security and economics, given the circumstances the region is going through, which requires unity and solidarity to overcome them.
جلالة الملك حمد بن عيسى الخليفة ملك مملكة البحرين الشقيقة، يتقدم الوفد البحريني المشارك في هذه القمة، ويتقدم سيدي أمير البلاد المفدى بابتسامته المعهودة باستقبال ضيفه وأخيه جلالة الملك حمد بن عيسى الخليفة في هذا المشهد الأخوي. إنها صورة تعبر عن تعليق صوتي أو نص مكتوب أو صوت مقبول أو لحن مسموع، فالصورة أبلغ. هي صورة المحبة والقرب. فمشاركة جلالة الملك حمد بن عيسى الخليفة ملك مملكة البحرين الشقيقة في هذه القمة الخليجية هو استمرار لروح الشراكة الخليجية التي يطمح لها الجميع ونطمح لها شعوبا وقيادات ومسؤولين. فالروابط التي تجمع خليجنا ودولنا أكبر من أي روابط تجمع الدول الأخرى والأمم الأخرى.
The participation of the Kingdom of Bahrain reflects its firm position towards the Palestinian cause and affirms the legitimate right of the brotherly Palestinian people to establish their independent state in accordance with the Arab Peace Initiative launched by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which received Arab and Islamic support and was adopted by a number of European countries, and in an effort by the Kingdom of Bahrain under the leadership of His Majesty the King to call for unifying diplomatic efforts by mobilizing international support for the recognition of the Palestinian state, especially since the non-recognition of the Palestinian state is the main reason for the recurrence of armed conflicts and the loss of innocent lives. His Majesty's wise and enlightened approach was reflected in the foreign policy of the Kingdom of Bahrain in a way that demonstrated the kingdom's distinguished regional and international standing with its distinguished positions and history, and this approach enhanced the kingdom's status regionally and internationally. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with the Chief Minister of Jersey, Christina Moore, at Rafah Palace. His Royal Highness emphasized the importance of further strengthening joint cooperation between the two countries in all sectors, particularly the education, health and financial services sectors, to benefit both countries and their people. During the meeting, regional and global developments and ways to advance bilateral relations were discussed. For her part, Christina Moore expressed gratitude to His Royal Highness for his commitment to strengthening bilateral relations and wished Bahrain's people further progress and prosperity. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa and the Minister of Finance and National Economy, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, also attended the meeting. The Deputy Chairman of the Supreme Council for Youth and Sports, Chairman of the General Sports Authority and President of Bahrain Olympic Committee, His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, chaired the regular meeting of the BOC's General Assembly, held in the presence of the Vice President of GSA, His Highness Sheikh Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Cabinet Affairs and Deputy President of the BOC, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Ali Al Khalifa, the members of the BOC's Board of Directors and the heads of the representatives of sports unions. His Highness Sheikh Khalid delivered a speech during the meeting in which he welcomed the attendees and hailed the solidarity of the sports movement. His Highness aspired that many achievements would be made in 2024, affirming that BOC welcomes suggestions from the member unions and to achieve further development for sports, wishing everyone success. The Secretary General of BOC, Faras Al-Kohaji, delivered a speech in which he expressed thanks and appreciation to His Highness Sheikh Khalid for his support to the BOC, expressing pride in His Highness's attendance to the meeting. During the meeting, the minutes of the previous meeting were ratified and the administrative and financial reports of the committee were approved. Then Al-Kohaji reviewed the most prominent achievements in 2022 and 2023, as well as the most prominent events that will be hosted in Bahrain next year.
أصحاب السمو والمعالي والسعادة، السيدات والسادة، الحضور الكرام، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يسعدني أن ألتقي بكم اليوم في اجتماع الجمعية العمومية العادية للجنة الأولمبية، حيث نجتمع لنؤكد روح الوحدة والتضامن التي تعيشها الحركة الرياضية، معربين عن تقديرنا لما تقومون به من دور الإعلاء راية الوطن بالمحافل الخارجية، ليشهد عامي 2022 و2023 إنجازات متواصلة هي ثمرة لدعم حضرة صاحب الجلالة الملك حمد بن عيسى الخليفة ملك البلاد المعظم حفظ الله ورعاه، ومساندة صاحب السمو الملكي الأمير سلمان بن حمد الخليفة ولي العهد رئيس مجلس الوزراء حفظ الله، واهتمام سمو الشيخ ناصر بن حمد آل خليفة ممثل جلالة الملك لأعمال الإنسانية وشؤون الشباب. وفي الوقت الذي نعلن فيه افتتاح أعمال اجتماع الجمعية العمومية العادية، فإننا نتطلع للخروج بأفضل القرارات التي تصب في صالح ازدهار الحركة الرياضية وتعزيز مسيرة اللجنة الأولمبية والاتحادات الوطنية. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
The UAE President, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, received the President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin. Upon entering the UAE's airspace, the Russian President's plane was accompanied by a number of military aircraft to greet the country's guest. An official reception ceremony was held for the President upon the arrival of his convoy. The President of the UAE discussed with the Russian President the relations of the two countries and ways to strengthen them and move them forward, especially in areas that serve progress and development for the benefit of the two countries and their peoples. His Royal Highness the Saudi Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud held a discussion session with the Russian President Vladimir Putin. His Royal Highness stressed that Saudi Arabia and Russia are working together to achieve stability in the Middle East, noting that they are cooperating successfully in the fields of energy, trade and investment. President Putin said that relations between Russia and Saudi Arabia have reached an unprecedented level during the past 7 years. The Speaker of the Representatives Council, Ahmed Al-Msallam, delivered a speech at the high-level session of the Speakers of Parliament as part of the international parliamentary meeting held during COP28, with the participation of the Shura Council Chairman Ali Al-Saleh. Al-Msallam affirmed that Bahrain, under the leadership of His Majesty the King and with the support and follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, continues to implement its initiatives to enhance environmental security and affirms its commitment to the Paris Agreement. He added that the International Parliamentary Meeting aims to intensify parliamentary efforts and activate their tools regarding climate change for a more sustainable world. The Speaker of the Shura Council, Ali Saleh, also participated in the parliamentary meeting at COP28, where he stressed that the growing global interest in confronting the challenges of climate change requires parliamentary action and joint efforts to develop legislation that enhances environmental security. He expressed pride in the positive and effective national visions and plans that Bahrain is implementing to reduce emissions and reach carbon neutrality. He praised the distinguished roles played by the UAE in uniting the efforts of world countries and supporting development projects that contribute to addressing the challenges of climate change. He stated that the legislative authority in Bahrain is keen to partner with the parliaments of the world countries and is working to strengthen parliamentary relations to enhance legislative expertise towards common issues. The Minister of Housing and Urban Planning, Amna Ramehi, participated in the second ministerial meeting on urbanization and climate change as part of COP28. The minister affirmed that the kingdom has taken advanced steps in terms of including the principles of sustainability and the implementation of development plans and projects included in government programs. She said that the urban expansion and population growth in the countries of the world and the requirements for achieving the goals of combating climate change require strengthening joint efforts at the local, regional, and international levels. The minister praised the kingdom's experience in the field of urban planning and development, affirming that the government, headed by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, is exerting efforts to develop planning standards and ensure the sustainability of cities by updating the regulatory requirements for urbanization to enhance demand for agricultural lands. The National Initiative for the Development of the Agricultural Sector, in cooperation with the Ministry of Municipalities Affairs and Agriculture and the Supreme Council for the Environment, announced that the National Afforestation Campaign Forever Green received support from the Bahrain Commercial Facilities Company to contribute to afforestation along a 200-meter linear stretch of Road 801 in the Southern Governorate. On this occasion, the Secretary General of the initiative, Sheikh Hamara bint Isa Al Khalifa, expressed gratitude to the Bahrain Commercial Facilities Company for their support, which will enhance the campaign's efforts towards expanding the green area in Bahrain and achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. The opening ceremony of the Ironman 70.3 Middle East Championship was held in the kingdom with wide participation from various countries of the world. The Ironman event is considered an important milestone in continuing to promote the kingdom in line with Bahrain's Economic Vision 2030 and making the kingdom a destination for major sporting events. The opening ceremony witnessed a review of the history of Bahrain hosting the event over the past years through a documentary film and the successes achieved by the kingdom in hosting the event. The organizing committee revealed all the details related to the championship during the press conference. A number of officials from the bodies supporting the championship, professionals from the victorious Bahrain team, and champions from triathlon spoke at the conference. The championship begins on Thursday with the Iron Kids event, while the main race will be held on Saturday. The Information and E-Government Authority announced the launch of the pilot phase of 2024 Household Income and Expenditure Survey, taking effect from the 26th of November to the 21st of December 2023, prior to the official launch in early 2024. We were joined over the phone earlier by the IGA Deputy Chief Executive of Statistics and Population Registry, Du'a Sultan Al-Harban, who elaborated further.
The main survey will extend from the 1st of January to 31st of December next year, and it will be targeting almost 6,300 Bahraini and non-Bahraini households chosen randomly across all the governorates. In 2024 survey, we will be converted to the electronic form instead of the paper forms that were used in the last version of the survey. Family income and expenditure survey is among the most important family-related surveys conducted by almost all national statistical offices. This survey measures the standards of living of families and individuals, taking into consideration the changes and trends in living standards, which is highly important for the government and policymakers to develop programs, plans, policies that reflect the lives of citizens and residents.
The second Arab International Cybersecurity Conference and exhibition concluded with wide participation from various specialized companies and government agencies. More in this report. Within an integrated plan implemented in accordance with international standards that works to enhance cybersecurity, the second Arab International Cybersecurity Conference and exhibition provided the most effective services that contribute to enhancing the efforts made to secure the digital world.
Information and E-Government Authority is participating on the International Arab Cybersecurity Conference. It's part of our commitment to make sure that public services that we are building for citizens is secured and aligned with all security controls that is mandated by the National Cybersecurity. We in IGA make our best to make sure that any e-services or any application that get outside for citizen is secure and their data is protected. And this is why this international conference is important for us to learn more about what advanced security technology available in the market, what we can learn to improve our services, how we can revamp the way we build applications so we make sure that the data of citizens is protected.
We provide cybersecurity services, and this is our second year. We have won the award for Deloitte's Fastest 50. We've also been named in IDC and won numerous awards, and we're looking forward to protect the kingdom's cybersecurity infrastructure.
During its various sessions and training workshops, the conference discussed the most important practical skills and knowledge necessary to effectively confront cyber challenges and work to improve data protection, networks, and digital infrastructure.
The session is very interactive. We cover things like data subject rights, we cover things like data retention, all the cybersecurity controls that are important to actually operationalize the law. But we also cover ethic issues around the data protection law and the role of the Data Protection Authority of the Kingdom of Bahrain.
It's great for us to have a platform to introduce young people and young talents into the world of cybersecurity, and we do so in a very creative, informative and innovative manner through the projects that we present to them. And this provides an impact of creating a talent ecosystem within Bahrain at a young age, which is the most important and vital aspect into the generation, building onto a technological environment and landscape that Bahrain truly is becoming.
The conference, which is considered a strategic step that reflects the Kingdom of Bahrain's commitment to promoting digital sustainability, was distinguished by the diversity of its exhibitors and topics to keep pace with the development the world is witnessing, which makes it a tool for measuring the interests of the government and private sector in the field of cybersecurity. Reporting for Bahrain International, I am Mohammed Yusuf.